So, Sammy, where are you from? This has been one of the most difficult questions I've ever had to answer throughout my life. More difficult than any HR job interview or any exam that I had in school. Hi guys, this is Sammy from the Samotivation Go to Bed Better Than You Woke Up YouTube channel. And today I'd like to tell you a bit about my background and what it's like to be Bulgarian Palestinian. I was born in Bulgaria in 1994 to a Bulgarian mother and Palestinian father. I lived in Bulgaria till about the age of 5 when I immigrated to Canada and lived there for a few years. And then we came back to Bulgaria when I was about 10 years old. During this period, we also became Canadian citizens. When I came back to Bulgaria, I could only speak English. My parents would speak to me in Bulgarian and Arabic, and I'd understand everything they were saying, but I'd answer back in English. That all changed, however, when I began studying at the Lebanese school in Sofia and actually began learning Bulgarian and Arabic. I then graduated from high school in Bulgaria and came to study in Qatar. Growing up as a child of a mixed marriage wasn't always the easiest experience. Throughout my childhood and even during my adult years, I had many situations where people made me feel like I was neither Bulgarian nor Palestinian, even within my own family. So it'd always be now it's funny to me, but it wasn't so funny back then. When I was a kid and I'd go visit my mother's side of the family. And I'd be told things like, "Ти защо не ядеш свинско? Вземи малко свинско, пробвай го, няма се натровиш." And at the same time, I'd be told things like, "Don't tell the other kids that you're Arab or that you're Muslim, because they will make fun of you." And I also had a very unpleasant experience with the kids from the neighborhood in Sofia, when after seeing me speaking in Arabic to my father while we were playing football, the next day I went out with my brother, as usual, just to play out in the yard, and just started saying really mean and nasty things about Arabs. And we're talking kids who were 7 or 8 years old. So naturally, taking the attributes of both Bulgarians and Palestinians and the stubbornness, I went and I punched them in the face. And to be honest, I really couldn't understand why they were so hateful towards me and my brother. We had a Bulgarian mom, we spoke the language, we grew up in Bulgaria, but just because we spoke a different language, they somehow found it normal or completely acceptable to treat us like we were nothing. And when I traveled to Lebanon to meet my dad's side of the family, I'd get introduced to friends by my cousins as, هذا سامي, هو أجنبي. So in Bulgaria, I was not Bulgarian, and in the Arab world, I wasn't Arab enough. And experiences like this really made me doubt where I was from. And I had an identity crisis growing up for a very long time. And I couldn't understand what I was or where I was from. And until this day, I often struggle with answering, "Where are you from?" One of the questions that I hated the most was, "What do you feel more as? Do you feel more Bulgarian or more Arab?" The answer being, I feel both at the same time. I don't feel more one than the other. And I recall talking to my dad about this. I think I was maybe in 6th or 7th grade. And he asked me that question. I said, "Well, I'm half Bulgarian, half Palestinian. I don't really know what I am." To which he said, "You're actually not half this or half that. You're one whole. So stop trying to divide yourself." And he made a very good point. Even though I didn't know Bulgarian when I first came to Bulgaria from Canada, that didn't stop me from getting one of the highest grades in the school on the Bulgarian state exam in Bulgarian language and literature. And instead of receiving a congratulations, my Bulgarian teacher spoke to one of my classmates in the class, right in front of everyone and in front of me. And he told him, "Ivan, look, Sammy's not even Bulgarian and he got a much higher grade than you." Until this day, that pisses me off. And it's been over 10 years since that happened. And frankly, I thought that's where it would stop, in high school. Then I went to university, and during my first days at university, one of the professors asked me, "So, welcome to Georgetown University in Qatar. As you can see, we have flags all over the world here representing different students from different countries. What kind of flag should we put up for you?" And I told him, "Well, honestly, sir, I have 3 flags representing me. The Canadian one, the Palestinian one, and the Bulgarian one." But I told him, "Since you don't have a Bulgarian flag, I would be honored to have the Bulgarian flag here representing me." And to which he said, "Oh, yeah, sure, that's not a problem. But for a Bulgarian, I would have expected a name like Ivan Dimitrov and not Sami Wahbi." But what was worse was passport control, especially in countries that have a certain idea of what a citizen of that country should look like. That's different from what they believe it should be. So, where are you from? My passport says Canadian. Why do you have to ask me that question? And if you think I'm not Canadian, why don't you ask the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Canada or my embassy? But I don't want to make this video all negative. because there are so many good things about being a kid from a mixed marriage. One of them being is that you have such a bigger and greater understanding of the world than people who come from a single race or single country. You understand different languages, you understand different cultures, different mindsets, different religions, and frankly, you become a more tolerant person. For example, my mom's side of the family is Christian, my dad's side of the family is Muslim. And at home, we celebrate both Easter and Christmas, and Ramadan and Eid. At the same time, I've also visited Buddhist temples, Sikh temples, Hindu temples, Jewish synagogues, and many other places of worship, and also partaken and celebrated these holidays alongside my friends who share these religions. This exposure to different types of people from very diverse backgrounds helps you become a better person. One of the most important and nicest things about being mixed marriage is that you get the best of both worlds. And I'm talking about mixed marriage kids are the most handsome. Are you a mixed kid yourself? Do you share any of these experiences or feelings? I'd love to hear more about it. Tell me in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Sami signing off.